Chat, how we doing? Saturday, another MLS live watch along. Tonight we have Inter Miami versus DC United in Baltimore, Maryland at M&T Stadium where the Baltimore Ravens play. Should be a pretty big crowd. I think there's going to be somewhere along the lines of 70,000 people there tonight. So it's going to be a really big game. It's the second. Let's see. Inter Miami played Orlando City at Orlando City last week. So this is the second game of three that Inter Miami have played in front of 70,000 fans on the road. So we'll see what they do tonight against DC United. It's going to be a huge game, and we'll break that down here in a little bit, talking about what their starting 11 is going to look like, because I thought they would do something not completely different than they did in the first half, or what they did completely different in the game, but what they did the first half of that game, because it wasn't working. But they switched formations and things started to look a little bit better. But to be fair, Orlando City is losing right now to New York City 5-0. They're getting absolutely pantsed at New York City right now. So they do not look very good. We will see what happens with this team. And if they are actually, I'm going to learn a lot more about Inter Miami tonight and see how they play. But we'll talk about that here in a second. But before we do, make sure you guys smash the like button down below if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are gaining subs like crazy. We're still trying to hit our 15,000 before the World Cup, which we have till June, middle of June. So we got 3 months left before that happens. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of our videos. Let's see. Mr. says, hi, Will. Hi, chat. Appreciate you for being here, my friend. Amy says, hey, Will, my prediction is 5-1 Inter Miami. DC United fans cry. That's funny. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Mr. says, I think Orlando's blowing that 2-0 lead last week has broken them. Currently 5-0 Orlando. Yes. And I'm curious if they're going to fire Oscar Pereira. He's not very good, in my opinion. I think he's way past he's over the hill. I think they need a new voice and new direction. He's been the manager there, I think, for 4, 5, 6 years now. He's been there too long with no results. So I'm hoping Orlando City finally move off him and hire someone else, because there are a lot of good managers available out there. By the way, we got the new setup. I don't know if you guys saw this. We built a new setup, new PC ready for the World Cup. So this is the first live stream we've done. It's the first video we've done since we got the new build up. So very pleased with that so far. Let's see. No way. Granted, Orlando City is down a man. Yeah, they are down a man, but when did that happen? I think they were already down. I want to say that they were already down pretty badly before Maxine Crepeau got okay, no, so they didn't. So 16 minutes in. Yeah, okay, so they did have a red card before anyone scored, but still 5-0. That's pretty bad still. Even down to 5 men, 5-0 is really bad. It's really bad. I mean, I know they're probably going to lose anyway, but to be down 5-0 is pretty bad. I mean, they were down 5-0 like 56 minutes in. That's inexcusable. 56 minutes in, Orlando City was down 5-0. That's crazy. What up, everyone? Why was the Houston game postponed? I'm not sure. Maybe weather? I'll have to check in and see. Weather, New England field wasn't ready after snow. Yeah, so it's weather. So I'm sure that'll be played pretty soon. It's not a big deal. It'll probably be played tomorrow or probably midweek, I would say. Orlando is just sad, is what is that Duque Deal says. Yeah, Orlando is definitely struggling right now. Hey, Will, how is the baby? The baby is doing fine. Appreciate you for asking. Baby's doing good. Baby is doing very, very good. So let's talk about this Inter Miami game. Let's talk about Inter Miami and DC United. This is going to be an interesting game because, like I said, Inter Miami came back and beat Orlando City last week in the second half, but they made a change, and it kind of it opened the game completely for them in the second half. So let's talk about what they're doing in this game differently than they did in the first game, because they struggled in the first half against Orlando City. Orlando City was up 2-0. Okay, so in this game, Inter Miami is making one change in the starting 11. Okay, one change. The only change they're making in the starting 11 in this game is that Tadio Allende is not starting on the right side, and they have Matteo Salvetti starting. Now, Matteo Salvetti, I think, has struggled a lot on the right side, especially in the preseason. I don't think he was very good for Inter Miami on the right side. But he's starting on the right side. Tadio Allende is out or not playing. He starts off on the bench, and we'll see what happens to that. Now, Tadio Yende probably wasn't ready. Maybe he's still not in form. He did look like he hurt his shoulder in the last match against Orlando City. So we'll see if he even makes an appearance today. But the only change today is Matteo Salvetti is starting on the right side. Now, last week, they couldn't get anything in the final third in the first half. But when they brought Matteo Salvetti in and they really were playing with three in the back, and they were like essentially playing like a 3-4-2-1. That's what it felt like to me. Or maybe even more like a 3-5-2. Things opened up a lot more in the game. So we'll see kind of how it looks on the pitch, but it looks like they're essentially rolling out the 4-2-3-1. The only difference is Silvetti's in for Allende. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm a little skeptical because Noah Allen just doesn't give this team anything on the left side. He doesn't do anything on the left side. He doesn't do anything on the left side. It looks like Luis Suarez is on the bench for Inter Miami today. So he'll be playing today. He will be playing today. It looks like, or at least he'll be available. I don't know if he's actually going to play, but he will be available. So we'll see if he makes an appearance. But I'm going to be very curious to see how this works in this game. How Inter Miami plays with essentially the same formation that didn't work in the first half against Orlando City. Now, if they struggle again, I mean, I don't know if you guys read the comments about Javier Mascherano, what he said, but he said that it was his fault when when a team plays poorly in the first half due to formation, they don't create any chances, they don't score. That's due to coaching, especially if in the second half they change one thing and then they do start to score. He says that reflects poor coaching. So he said that's on him for that performance in the first half. But if that's true, like I said, why is he doing the same thing again? I don't get that. But, we're about 10 minutes away from kickoff. So I'm curious. We already got a couple score predictions. What's your score prediction for this game? Who do you think is going to win between DC United and Inter Miami? What is your score prediction? DC United's actually not too bad this year. I do think that they have a more competitive team in 2026 than they did in 2025, because 2025 they were abysmal, right? Having Sean Johnson, who is an MLS vet, who's played for the Fire, who's played for New York City FC, Toronto FC. He's been a vet. He's 37 years old now, I think. He has so many caps in MLS. I think he has like 400 or 500 appearances in Major League Soccer. So he's a vet, and I still think he's good enough. And then obviously they have Ty Baribo, who was the leading scorer for Philadelphia last year, 19 goals. They still, Luis Mantino is not playing. He's not playing, or he's not starting. Their record signing striker from Romania. So we'll see if he ends up getting any minutes tonight. But you have to keep this in mind too, guys. Inter Miami have a Champions Cup game this coming week on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Wednesday. Okay, so it's on Wednesday. So Wednesday, Inter Miami plays Nashville SC. So that's another thing you got to keep in consideration. How much are these guys going to play the full 90? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to try to preserve some of these guys for that Champions Cup game, because that matters more right now, the CONCACAF Champions Cup. It does, especially because they want to win it. So we'll see how they perform and how they look tonight and how many minutes some of these guys end up getting. Let me read some of these score predictions. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got here. Nid says 3-0 Miami. Mr. says 2-1 Miami, so a little bit more conservative. Duque says Inter Miami 3-1 over DC United. MK says 5-0 DC United. Okay, so you think Inter Miami is going to have a Orlando routing on them? MK says 5-0. Okay, you read that one. I'm sorry. Let's see what else we got here. Ferris says Miami 4, DC United 1. Daniel says Yankee Stadium isn't the reason Orlando lost 5-0. Sorry about that. I don't know. I mean, I think they're just not a very good team. Inter Miami will get fried, MK says. Really? That's interesting. I don't think they're going to get fried. I think Inter Miami is probably going to struggle again in the first half, just like they did in the last game because of the formation. I'm thinking that Inter Miami is going to probably win this game 3-1. I think it's gonna be 3-1 tonight. I think it'll be 3-1 Inter Miami. I think they're gonna have a slow first half, and I think that they'll play better in the second half like they did last week. And last week was incredible. Last week was one of the best games I've seen in the regular season in a very, very long time. So I can't complain about what we saw last week. But Miami can't afford to be down 2-0 in the first half because that's just such a big hole to climb out of. I mean, you have to score 3 goals to win in one half. But we'll see. We'll see if they look better. And here's another thing too. Bert Tarame has got to start getting more involved. I understand with the way the game went last week that it kind of neutralized him or what his style was, where he wasn't as useful with what they were trying to do because he's a fox in the box, right? He's a poacher. But he's got to start getting involved. They spent $16 million on him. He's got to start getting involved. They got to he's got to find the back of the net. He hasn't had a goal in his first 2 games. So they're gonna have to find a way to get Bertarame involved. And I think today might be the day he finally starts to show through and get involved with this Inter Miami attack. But we'll see. Last week's game was just so crazy, though. I mean, that was one of the best second halves I've ever seen. I had a friend trying to go to this game tonight in Baltimore too. I think the tickets were like 700, probably. I think it's like 350 a piece if you wanted to have really good seats. I don't know what the nosebleeds would cost, but I think the stadium sold out. I'm pretty sure there's going to be about 70,000 people here tonight, and it looks like there's a lot of DC United fans in the stands. And Baltimore is about, I think, 45 minutes to an hour away from Washington, D.C. Wait, he says I'm back, boys. I can't wait until New York City aren't in a baseball stadium anymore. Yeah, it's crazy that they've been playing for 12 seasons in Yankee Stadium and the Met Stadium and the Red Bull Stadium. I mean, pretty much they just been uh stadium merchants, right? They just been playing in any stadium they can play in. But when they get Etihad Stadium built in the Queens officially in 2027, all bets are off. And I do think that the team will start to look a lot different with the players they sign, with the excitement that they have. It'll start to really feel like a City Football Group owned team once again, because it really hasn't felt that way to me in several years, just because they've been signing a lot different players than they're used to signing, right? They haven't really signed. New York City FC hasn't had a big name player since David Villa in 20 was his last year 2018, I think, which is insane. Inter Miami will win 5-1. No, the game has not started yet. The game is always 10 minutes delayed. Always 10 minutes delayed. So if it says 4:30, it's starting at 4:40, maybe even 4:45. But I will tell you this, we have 22 likes so far, 70 people watching with us live right now. Make sure you guys smash the like button if you haven't already. We got 70 of you. We should have 70 likes. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I've said this, 15K is our goal by the beginning of June. We got 3 months to hit our goal before the World Cup starts. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we got some big news coming soon. We got a sponsorship on the way, which I can't talk about right now, but I think you might be able to see it by the next live watch along, which will be Tuesday night. We got a pretty big sponsor on the way for the channel, so stay tuned for that. Got someone keep spamming link, so I had to mute them. Congrats, appreciate it. Miss Yao says, well, I told you New York City were going to be nice. I didn't think they weren't going to be nice. I just think they need a striker still. They need someone to replace Alonso Martinez. I think that's going to be something that hurts them long term, but we'll see. They are nice. They did. I mean, they beat the hell out of Orlando City today. Well, technically, they play with two DPs because Nico Fernandez is a DP, and so is Talis Magno because he returned on loan from Brazil, Vasco da Gama. He's a DP too, so they technically have two DPs right now. And I think Thiago Martins is not a DP anymore. I think maybe he got bought down. I'm not sure about his deal. I remember his deal was running out, but I think he re-signed where he's no longer a DP for NYCFC. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look up his roster designation, but yeah, okay, they still have him listed as a DP, Thiago Martins. But the crazy part is he's been here since 2022, so 22, 23, 24, 25 5 years. So he must have signed a 5-year deal, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Magno in previous form was OP. Yeah, he used to. I mean, he showed some pretty. He showed some potential at certain points, but I don't know if I don't know if he's ever going to find like realize it and be. He's still only 23 years old, but I think they've probably given up on him. I think they've given up on him. Angus says hello, Will, and everyone else. Angus, appreciate you for stopping by, my friend. Saw you changed your profile picture back to you. You had the Angus beef one for a little bit. Miami will cook DC. My prediction is I have Inter Miami winning 3-1, but I think they're going to start off slow again in the first half because they're doing the same formation they did last time, which is the 4-2-3-1. And I don't think it really creates a lot of chances because they need someone on the left side at left back to push up to kind of be like a hybrid uh, wing back, right? We saw Jordi Alba essentially play as a winger with Inter Miami. Even though he's playing left back, he could do a lot of stuff in the attack. Noah Allen can't do that. So essentially, the way they're playing right now, they have nothing at left back to work for them in the attack. But when Silvetti came in and he was kind of able to play that position, things changed and they looked a lot better. I don't think the team's going to be able to play as a 4-2-3-1 and be effective until Sergio Reguilon comes back. I think he's the only left back on this team who can. I think he's the only left back on this team who can create chances in the final third. I'm not doing a watch along for LAFC night because I don't have time to do two in a day, but I am going to do a post game recap for this game and LAFC versus FC Dallas. I am going to do a watch along for, or do a post game for it, but I will be doing a watch along for Inter Miami and for LAFC for the Champions Cup, which is um, Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'll do a watch along for those games for sure. NYC will bring in a star for their stadium opening. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, I have Miami winning 3-1. I think Miami's going to win this game 3-1. I think it's going to be a slow start, but then they're going to pick things up. But I'm curious to see. I mentioned this earlier. If you're just joining us, I mentioned earlier, I'm curious to see how many minutes some of the players play because they have a big game on Wednesday against Nashville SC. So, how many minutes are the Stars going to play? 2K with a $20 super chat says LAFC on top. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. I think LAFC, I'm curious to see what they do against Dallas tonight and how they look. They have a pretty easy game on Tuesday against Alajuelense from Costa Rica. We'll see how they play tonight heading into that game and how many players actually do play tonight. But I do think most of the starters will play both games. Tuesday's game, I don't really think should be any problem for them. I want to say they play in Costa Rica, though, the first leg. So that would be interesting. I appreciate the super chat, my friend. Timo Werner will get cooked by my Union. Hey, MK, I'm telling you, your Union, I'm a little worried about. If they start 0-3, we'll have a talk, but we'll see. If Minnesota United win today and stay in good form, would you ever do a watch along with us? Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. I'm not doing this because I'm a fan of any team. I have no team if you're new. It's just kind of about relevance and excitement behind the teams. That's what I do. But I'm curious if James Rodriguez ends up playing for him because apparently he's hurt. And we kicked off officially, by the way. We're officially underway. Inter Miami and DC United. Let's see how they look in this game. Okay, so they got Salvetti on the left side, which is interesting. Let's see if he shifts over to the right. Okay, so they got Salvetti. I'm trying to see what they're doing back here. The formation looks different. So in FOTMOB, they had it as a 4-4-2, but they got Facundo Mora playing further up. Looks like Noah Allen is essentially playing as a third center back with Mikael in the middle and Maxi Falcone on the right. So they've got Salvetti and Facundo Mora playing as wing backs, it looks like. So more of like a 3-4 or a 3-5-2. Come on, DC United to win. We'll see. James apparently hasn't had the proper visa. He's been training with the youngsters. Well, hopefully he gets to play soon for you guys. I'm very curious to see what his form looks like because he's trying to play for Colombia. They need him in form. So, and if he plays well enough, hopefully he signs with you guys for the entire year. I know it's a 6-month deal. Oh no, Allen looking for Bertarame. Too much on it into Sean Johnson's hands. True Pumpkin Jack says, "Hi boss, what's going on, my friend?" Messi's playing on the right side, it looks like too. It looks like Segovia is more. It looks like this thing's kind of like a hybrid formation too. Like it kind of it shifts. Oh, Rodrigo to Paul with the ball. To Paul. To Messi. Messi was looking for Bertarame, but it's deflected away. But what I was saying though is it looks like it's a hybrid because in the attack, it looked like it was a 4-2-3-1 where it had Messi on the right side and it had Talasco Segovia playing as the 10, which is interesting because Messi hasn't played on the right side since Tata Martino days. Ooh, bad giveaway. I'm noticing DePaul early on again, like we did last game. DePaul has been very noticeable so far for Inter Miami in 2026. I think he's having a much better early start to his season, better than when he first came on in the summer window. He's looking pretty solid. Of course, he's trying to stay informed because he wants to start for Argentina at the World Cup. So I understand why he's got that little bit of extra juice. No, Allen looking for Tosco Scovia too much. Sean Johnson boots it deep. I think Inter Miami is going to probably dominate possession today. Price for tickets are probably up because of Inter Miami and Messi in general. That's true. I get my cast off on Monday. I fractured my pinky and they put me in a cast. Mason, sorry to hear that. Hopefully everything goes smoothly and you get it off on Monday. Bunch of pink jerseys in the stands. Yeah, there's a lot of pink jerseys. I did see some DC United fans though. There's a lot of black shirts or jerseys. I can't tell. I don't know if those are Inter Miami or DC United jerseys because they both have a black kit. So, but it does look like there's quite a bit of Inter Miami jerseys, which is to be expected. I mean, this is a big, um, I wouldn't say a big game, but it's a big deal because I don't think Messi's ever played in Baltimore before. I want to see Inter Miami's championship ring whenever it comes out. Yeah, I'm curious when they'll get that. Bad pass, out of bounds, Inter Miami ball. Messi hasn't played in Baltimore. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's no pro team and there's no first division pro team in Baltimore, and I don't think they've had any Argentine friendlies in Baltimore or Barcelona ever had any friendlies in Baltimore. So yeah, it probably is the first time he's ever played here. I'm looking to see how Maxi Falcone does today, and how Mikael does against Ty Baribo, because Ty Baribo has been very good the last years. Good play by Rodrigo Paul. Looking for Bertarame. Beautiful pass. Oh, yeah. It's like Inter my DC, man. They're gonna get killed in the possession in this game. Championships rings are best part of MLS for players. 4-1 Miami winning or win loading, Juan says. Yeah, I mean, DC United's kind of playing too conservative right now. They're letting Inter Miami just dominate possession, which doesn't always tell the story, but it's not looking like they're really going to have too much in the attack today, unless they're like Orlando, where when they do get a chance, they convert on it. Orlando only had 2 shots in the first half. That was almost a bad giveaway by Facundo Mora, but Orlando City only had 2 shots in the they only had 2 shots in the first half, and both of them were goals. They converted on their opportunities. Interesting by Inter Miami though, playing Messi out wide. Normally he plays through the middle, and they kind of play it out wide to kind of open things up. That's when they play very well. So it's interesting to see Messi playing more out wide in this game. Although he's always played wide throughout his career, right? We know he most of the time, at least with Barcelona, and especially with PSG, he was playing on the right side. Oh, nice pass. Can you get to it? Is it still in bounds? Nope, out of bounds. DC United ball. But it's curious to see. This is the first time, I think, in the Mascherano. That's the first time I remember him playing in the Mascherano era on the right side. Cheapest tickets for this game was $80 to $90. Interesting. That's not as bad as I thought it would be, but I bet those are probably nosebleeds. Maybe I'm just desensitized to it because of the World Cup. Oh, Messi was looking for Bertarame, bad pass. DePaul got a clear chance, shoots right into Sean Johnson's hands. Moments like this, Miami really missed Busquets. He was so good at getting the ball forward and finding Messi. Same with Alba. They are missing that quality because I don't think Yannick Bright is very good. I'm curious. I didn't even look to see if David Ayala was back in the rotation, because his dad passed away. So our condolences to him. But I didn't even see if he was on the bench today. But they bought David Ayala to be a starter next to Rodrigo de Paul. So I'm expecting him to eventually dethrone or take away Yannick Bright's spot in the starting 11. I think he's much better than Yannick Bright, especially at distributing the ball. I think Yannick Bright's only good at the defensive work. I don't think he's very good in the passing game. Also, want to see what Dane St. Clair does today. He had a very bad first half against Orlando, but he had a much better second half. We'll see if they have he's able to find form and play more consistently in goal. Washington Spirit probably has more fans than DC United. At least the Spirit has Trinity Rodman. Yeah, that's true, but they do have bigger stars in the NWSL just because there's more, like, the best soccer players in best women's soccer players do play in America. It kind of makes sense when you think about it. They think Juan says think they noticed how Orlando made them play wide, so they're thinking playing Messi wide to build up play. That's true. Segovia, good pass to Salvetti. He's fouled. Okay, so David Ayala is on the bench. We'll see if he plays today. New computer setup is super nice. I don't know if it looks any different to you guys. Probably doesn't look any different. Yeah, I don't think it runs smoother. It runs very smooth, especially when for editing. I think it's gonna be much better. So I didn't want to have my other computer was like 4 years old, so I didn't want to have any. I didn't want to have any chance of any issues, anything going wrong. I had a huge computer issue 2 years ago that really screwed me during the World Cup. It was a nightmare. So I wanted to make sure that everything was good months in advance, so we have no issues during the World Cup. Mister says I like Bright, but he's there to run around and wear the opposition out. That's true. Oh, I think that was in, but they're called out. It's going to be DC United ball. Yende and Ayala coming on at 60 minutes is my guess. I think there's a good chance of that because I think they, like I said, they have a game against Nashville SC on Wednesday in Champions Cup that they want a lot of these guys to be fresh for. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 4 or 5 substitutions, especially if they have a lead. Foul on DC United, Inter Miami ball. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, they released I know that they released the GAM numbers, general allocation money, which is Garber bucks, whatever you want to call it, in MLS to kind of spend on the roster and buy down player salaries. I want to say the Inter Miami have like $17,000 in GAM left, which means they can't really make any additions this summer unless they sell somebody, which I don't think they're going to sell anybody, but they could. So Inter Miami really don't have a lot of room to sign anybody this summer. So this is kind of the team. This is kind of the team going forward. But that's what they wanted. They wanted to build the team from the start so that way that they could compete in the Champions Cup. So this is the team. Falcone. It's going to be DC United's ball. But this is their team going forward. A lot of teams spent most of their game heading into the beginning of the season, which is a little surprising because it felt like a lot of teams didn't really make many moves. The LA Galaxy have $0 in GAM, which is kind of funny when you think about it. Pinter on the bench too. Suarez or Pinter off the bench will be interesting. Pinter probably better, but Suarez mocking the mat for Messi to keep his spot. Brother BKL says, "What's happening? MLS moves. NYCFC looking dominated against Orlando City. I'm so excited for the grand opening new soccer stadium next year." Yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of people have been complaining about New York City FC Stadium for many, many years. It's kind of funny that Inter Miami is getting their stadium before New York City because they've been playing 5 or 6 seasons before them, and they're going to get their stadium before New York City does. And they start at the same time. But I guess it's just the New York City politics. It takes a lot longer to do certain things and get things built in a timely fashion. So, it's a little disappointing. They got to wait another year, but it'll be here before you know it. It would have been nice to open up both stadiums during the World Cup, but it is what it is. Looks like a very nice stadium. And my friend who's connected to, nice play there by Yannick Bright, Segovia out wide, looking for Silvetti. Can he get to it? He can't. It's going to go to bounce. A friend of mine told me that's connected with the New York City FC, front office and administration told me that New York City FC Stadium is going to be 25 to 27,000 seats, but it's going to be expandable to 35 to 45,000. So they plan this ahead because it's so hard to get a stadium built in New York City that this is kind of going to be their stadium for a very long time. So they have planned it out to where if the sport grows like they think it will, they'll have the opportunity to make it a bigger venue long term, which is pretty cool. Galaxy are poorly managed. That's why. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what they do today. Keep an eye on a couple teams. I'm curious. The first El Tráfico game is going to be really interesting to see how that pans out. The fact that the Galaxy were so bad after winning MLS Cup is proof of that, not because of roster rules. Well, I think also Greg Vanny's really bad. I moved to New York State for telecom work. I could probably go see New York City FC's Etihad Park when it opens if I wanted to. I would encourage you to do that. Don't give up on your team, obviously LAFC. But if you have a chance to go watch a team in your backyard, you should definitely go. You should definitely do that. Finances allowing, I would love to see all MLS stadiums in the next few years. I see people doing that with MLB. Yeah, no, that would be cool. That's on my bucket list. I want to go visit every MLS stadium. I've only been to 3, and they're all football stadiums. I've been to Orlando when they played at the Orange Bowl. I've been to Nashville when they played at Nissan Stadium, and then I went to good save by Dane St. Clair. And then I went to the Charlotte FC game in 2024. I've never been to a soccer specific stadium in MLS. because there's none close to me. Well, there is now, but there wasn't at the time. Oh, Messi, too hard of a touch. Oof. Looks a little lackluster getting the first half. They've had a couple chances, but I haven't really noticed Berterame so far in the first 16 minutes. That's another issue. We'll see if they open things up, but not too many chances in this game. I mean, there's been a couple chances for Inter Miami, but not too many. Facundo Morris wide open on the right side of the pitch. Like insanely wide open. The ball pings one out to Salvetti. Got a bounce. Going to be a throw in for DC United. Did Inter Miami opening their own new stadium at Miami Freedom Park? Yeah, well, Inter Miami is opening their own stadium in, I want to say, I don't know if it's, maybe it's June, but maybe it's April. I can't remember. It's soon. Oh, nice play by Berterame. Berterame to Segovia, out wide to Rodrigo DePaul. DePaul scores. Beautiful goal by DePaul. Wow. Nice play there by Inter Miami. Berterame started that for him. Inter Miami's up 1-0 over DC United. 17th minute. DePaul gets his first goal of the season for Inter Miami. I was a little nervous he was going to make that, though. Just because, I mean, DePaul's not known to score goals. Good work rate by Berterame to win that ball back. Good work rate by him. To Segovia. To DePaul for the goal. So Inter Miami's up 1-0. Rodrigo to balls. Rodrigo to balls. I'm honestly surprised he made that. NYCFC is baseball FC for a little while longer. Yeah, that's true. Very cagey early on. Miami need a playmaking center back or a playmaking midfielder. Ayala better be Busquets region, or this could be a long season. I don't think anybody's going to be a Busquets region, but if DePaul plays like that for the rest of the season, I think he could maybe be help for the missing of Sergio Busquets. Segovia 4 goals and assists in the last 2 games. Yeah, Segovia's quietly having a pretty good season. I mean, I don't want to say he's been good, but we're talking about all these other additions, so he's kind of lost in the shuffle, if that makes any sense. But I agree, yeah. Talasco Segovia is having himself quite a good start to the season. So good that he's starting. Like, I don't think Segovia is going to lose his starting spot. So it's going to be interesting to see about Allende and Segovia and Salvetti, who's going to be the starter. Or maybe there's a way they can get all 3 of them on the pitch, but it's, we'll see. Starting off, Orlando gave Miami a harder time last week. Yeah, they did, for sure. Love that don't obviously play the Messi style. Think they make it too Messi or no one sometimes. That's true. They do. It's like the savior. And they play too much through the middle. My prediction was 3-1, but we'll see. Could be worse, honestly. And the crazy part is they really haven't even relied on Messi too much today. Messi's just he's not been asked to do too many things today. The team is playing good around him, which is positive. It's what you want to see. You don't want to be too reliant on you only win if he plays well. Segovia out wide to no Allen. Facundo Mora's got a lot of space. I don't know if that's the wind, but there's like some type of choppiness sound in the background. It's hard to. Segovia was looking for Bertarame. It was a weak pass, but Yannick Bright wins it back. Honestly, it looks like Inter Miami's kind of toying with him right now. It almost looks like a pickup game. I'm not gonna be able to do an LAFC watch along tonight, but I'm gonna do a post game tonight. I'm gonna do an LAFC watch along on Tuesday night when they play Alajuanis from Costa Rica. I'm gonna do a watch along for that game, and I'll do Inter Miami versus Nashville on Wednesday night. Maxi Falcone out wide for Kundamura, looking for Rodrigo DePaul. God, DePaul is everywhere, dude. I'm telling guys, DePaul is everywhere this year. Like he is all. I'd love to see his heat map to see like where he's been on the pitch. Like it feels like he's literally been everywhere. He's playing much better in 2025 or 2026 than he did in 2025. Much better than he did in 2025. It's always takes about 3 to 4 weeks for a team to find rhythm. That's true. That's why you can't put too much stock into a team until it's been a couple weeks and see what their form looks like. Oh, good play by DePaul and Messi. Messi out wide looking for Salvetti. Looks like it's going to be a handball. We'll see if they look at that, but that looked like a handball to me. Falcone's going to let it go out of bounds. They're going to ask for a VAR. They're going to look for a handball. The ref saying he tucked his arm under. Let's see. Let's look at the replay on this. Yeah, his hand's on his back. So that's not a handball. I want to be watching LA tonight. I won't be watching LA tonight either. 4 a.m. kickoff a bit late for me. Yeah, well, you just catch the halftime. I mean, or the highlights of that match, and I'm sure that. I mean, I do think LAFC probably will look pretty good tonight against FC Dallas, but I'm curious to see if they do because Dallas has been kind of scrappy this year. Bad giveaway there by Yannick Bright. Uh-oh. Pirani. Looks like it was deflected, but it's going to be a goal kick, Inter Miami. There was some space right there, though, for DC United. They found a crack in the defense of Inter Miami. There's a lot of space right there. Bad hit, though, by Pirani. Oh, Messi fouled. No call, though. Hopkins. I do feel a little bad though for DC United, and I do feel bad for them a little bit, guys, in a sense because you got to think this is a home game for them, but they had to travel an hour away and play at a stadium they're not familiar with. So in that sense, I do feel a little bad for DC United, and not to mention they're going to have more fans of the opposing team. It's supposed to be a home game for them, so I do feel bad for them in that sense. Honestly, I do feel a little bad for them. To make the MLS have 32 teams like the NFL, which two cities should get teams? Oh, Baribo cleared away by Facundo Mora. I think the next two teams is going to be Las Vegas, and it's tough for the second team. There's a lot of good contenders for that other team. I mean, Phoenix is good. Oh, Messi in space. Messi looking for Bertarame. Bertarame was absolutely creamed. DePaul's gonna go for another one. Shoots it out wide. It's gonna be goal kick for DC United. That's a tough one. I do think that Vegas is definitely 31. 32 could be a plethora of different cities. It's that one is very tough for me. I would probably tend to say Phoenix. I think Phoenix would probably be 32 for me because Phoenix is like the fourth or fifth biggest market in the United States. So it would make sense for them to have an MLS team. Who do you think is having a bigger impact on their team, Son or Mueller? Probably, probably Son, just because Vancouver were very good before Mueller came. I think LAFC were dead in the water before Sonny came. But I do think that Mueller has made them better, but they were already good. I think LAFC were screwed before Sonny. I mean, they were hurting bad. They couldn't do anything. Oh, Messi, Bertarame, back to Messi, back to Bertarame. A little bit of miscommunication there. Did you watch the Wrexham versus Chelsea game? I was wondering how much Wrexham would push them. I didn't watch the Wrexham Chelsea game. I'm personally not a big fan of Wrexham. I kind of I'm not a big fan of that, honestly. I love Ryan Reynolds though. Oh, nice pass to Messi. Messi. Oh, chips it over Sean Johnson to go up 2-0. Oh man. Wow, 2-0 Inter Miami over DC United. Inter Miami are cooking now. They're starting to look like they're starting to heat up. Wow. The fans look happy. A lot of Barcelona, some Barcelona fans, Barcelona kits in the stands, and some Argentine Messi kits. Nice chip by Messi though. What a chip! Wow. What is Sean Johnson even supposed to do? Messi with his third goal of the season. I think Messi might win the Golden Boot again this year. If he's playing like this, he might win MVP for the third year in a row. Who knows? But that was a beautiful chip. Beautiful pass too. 2-0. DC United's looking pretty rough so far. My 3-1 prediction might not age well, might be worse. But ever since they played better in the second half against Orlando City, they've looked a lot different. By the way, guys, we got 130 people in the chat right now. We got 54 likes. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. Let's try to get 100 likes on the stream. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 15,000 by the World Cup. We have 3 months until that happens. I think we're about 700 away from 13,000. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit that little bell notification so you don't miss any of our new videos. How's it going, my friend? Anyone know who is commentating on Apple TV? Yeah, we got Kalen Carr, and I forgot who the other guy is. I'm sorry. I know Kalen Carr is definitely one of them. Sounds like a Premier League commentator. Messi is messing around. Wrexham were the better team until the red card. So did they lose or was it a draw? What was the final score of that game? Son hasn't scored the past 3 games. I understand he hasn't scored the past 3 games, but someone has asked me who I thought had a bigger impact on their teams. The Premier League has a horrid amount of Big Six favoritism. I knew Chelsea was gonna win. Wrexham had no chance. So 4-2 Chelsea. Wow. You can tell the Messi and Bertarame isn't quite there yet. Yeah, there's a little bit of there is a little bit of I don't want to say chemistry obviously is lacking there, but they're just not on the same wavelength, like you're saying. There's still some little bit of there needs to be some fine tuning there. All right. corner, DC United, 30 minutes in, 2-0 Inter Miami over DC United. Let's see if DC United can get back into this game. Punched out by Dane St. Clair. Oh, Dane St. Clair looked like he got fouled pretty hard. No call, though. DC United ball. Oh, surprised Dane St. Clair kept that in. Messi looking out wide. Not a good pass from Messi. He was looking for Salvetti. Little weak. Johnson clears it out deep for Baribo. Hopkins. It's going to be a throw in for DC United in a dangerous area. Is Julian Hall scoring again this week? There's a chance he could. I mean, he's got 3 goals in 2 weeks. I think Julian Hall is having a hell of a year. I think I'd be impressed with him. He's 17 years old. If he finishes the season with 12 to 15 goals in total, I'd be very content with that. I think 12 to 15 goals for a 17-year-old kid would be a very, very good season. That's just my take. I don't know if you agree with that, but I think that'd be a very good season. Messi needs an elite striker like Preston Judd. I could tell, guys, DC United don't look like they're really into it today. They look very, very, I don't want to say soulless, but they just don't look like they really have much motivation in this game. Inter Miami definitely looked like the hungrier team tonight between the two teams. I don't think it's frankly close. That was a terrible strike by Hopkins, by the way. DC sucks. Everybody's just DC's catching strays right now. Yeah, they definitely look like a pieced up team, but they spend a lot of money. But they're just missing something. They need a playmaker, a creator. They have just no creativity. Nice pass to Segovia. Segovia looking for Mora. Little too much in front of him. All right, DC United's playing a lot better right now. This looks a lot better. Hopkins has had so many touches. I don't think he's that good. Way too many touches for Hopkins. Supposed to be their striker, but he's playing like a midfielder. Oh, should have struck that. With Inter Miami having the 2-0 lead, I do think they're going to make some substitutions in the 60th minute for sure. I don't know if there'll be wholesale changes. They'll probably be, I think they will probably end up using maybe 5 of their substitutions because the National SC game is a huge deal on Wednesday. I mean, National SC is a pretty good team and they got to play on the road in the Champions Cup. So I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, the ball was fouled. It's going to be a free kick for Inter Miami. Paul's talking crazy to Ty Baribo. Do we know when Josh Sargent's first game is? Lots of pressure on him to perform. I'm not sure when his first game is going to be. I'm going to be curious to watch it though because I want to see. They spent 22 million euros, I think, on him, maybe more. So I'm going to be curious to see what he does. He's going to have to ball out. I mean, he's going to have to be one of the best players in MLS. Maybe he could do that, but I don't think Toronto FC is that good. But we'll see. How much do you think Sargent will help Toronto because they suck? I think he'll probably help out quite a bit, but to be determined, right? He's going to have to help him out a bit. I mean, they spent $20 million. I think he could have spent that money more wisely, but I mean, they spent 24 on him. Oh, good pass. Looking for Savetti. Sean Johnson's able to get to it. I mean, they spent 24 million, 22, 24 million on him. And they also are going to give him $8 to $10 million a year. I mean, he's going to have to be one of the best players in the league. The GOAT says, yo, I'm at this game. Where are you sitting at? Where are you sitting at the game? Bobby says, will you be doing any TFC watch alongs this year? Possibly, yeah. I mean, I definitely there's definitely a chance I will. There's definitely a chance I will. I mean, I'm open to doing any watch alongs. I thought about doing one for Josh Sargent's like first start. I thought about doing one for his first start, but we'll see. Oof, bad giveaway right there. Oh, Pirani. Oh my God, he had a golden opportunity. No call. Good defensive work there by Yannick Bright. Good play. But my God, Pirani had a golden opportunity. He's probably still down. That was a golden opportunity for Pirani. All right, looks like they're gonna let this one play this one out of bounds. Oh, I guess they're not going to because Pirani's still down, I think. All right, he's back up. I don't know. I don't know, man. Pirani's not very good. That was terrible. All right, Messi. Oh, too much. Oh, able to win it back. Messi shoots. Oh, just wide. Oh, I thought he was going to score that. Oh, I thought he was going to score that. Just wide right by Messi. I okay. Does Messi? Okay, maybe we'll save this for a halftime question, but might not be relevant at halftime. Is Messi going to score a brace in this game? Is Messi going to have two braces in a row? Nice poke away there by Mikael. So Inter Miami has 3 goals from outside the box this season, the most in Major League Soccer. While Bright is showing his defensive work rate, if he builds offense more, he's going to be in Europe. I mean, maybe. I mean, he is. I think he's only 24 years old, almost 25. So I mean, I guess there's a chance still, but no, Allen out wide to DePaul, Bertarame to Messi. No, it's Mira. Sorry, it's Mira. Messi was looking for DePaul too high. I never watched DC because they're boring, especially with Benteke gone. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, they don't have a lot of star power. Now Rene Weiler's, supposedly a good coach. I mean, they have looked better under him, but they're still missing quite a bit. 39 minutes in, I mean, they've had a couple chances. They honestly should have probably had a goal or two. I mean, that Pirani on that last possession they had where Yannick Bright took the ball away from him, he should have scored there. I mean, that was pretty bad. Oh, kept it in play. Velasco Segovia. Savetti to Messi. Lost space there. Oh, he would have had Bertarame. He would have had Bertarame if he was able to. They weren't able to poke it away. I'm just wondering when Bertarame is going to be able to open up his scoring count, man. I thought he was going to be much better for this team with the service he was going to get, but so far he's been a little I would say disappointing, but hasn't really been able to find his form yet. So still early though. Still early. God, that was a terrible play by Pirani. 40 minutes in, it's 2-0. Inter Miami. Oh, good play by Mikael. Messi just waved at me. Are you taking Salt Lake or Atlanta? Ooh, that's tough. I'd probably take Salt Lake. Oh, nice play right there. Oh, DePaul. DePaul has is looking for Messi. Messi plays it up for Berterami, but no one's there. Oh, Savetti was wide open wide. I think DePaul missed him. Guys, I'm super impressed with Rodrigo DePaul. I think he's arguably been the best player for Inter Miami in 2026. I think he's been incredible. Obviously, Messi and Segovia have been very good too. They're up there, but I guess I'm just so impressed with DePaul because he was so disappointing last year that his good play in 2026 is just more noticeable. I mean, they spent $15 million on him. You're expecting him to be good, but he looks like a different player. I mean, look, he just stole the ball right there. He just caused a turnover. I just think he's looked very good in 2026 for Inter Miami. Mister, I tell you, DePaul looks lively, man. He just looks very like he's almost like orchestrating things. Now he's not going to be the passer that Busquets was, but I feel like he could be the heart and the back, kind of like Sergio was. I mean, he has been making some great passes. He's been making great runs. Like I said, if I want to look at his heat map to see where he was all over the pitch in this game, but he's everywhere. I think he's been incredible. I think he's been arguably their best player this year, and I think it's because the World Cup motivation. Ever since he scored in the final, yeah, that's true, and they need him to play good. He's a DP. He's one of the highest paid players in Major League Soccer, so he's supposed to be good, but he's playing like it. That's what you want to see. He's playing like it. Now, if Berterame can get things off the ground, we'll see. You know, Berterame deserves to get a little bit of a grace period too, because sometimes it takes a little bit to get things working out and situated. That's a good steal by Berterame. Pass out wide to Messi. He's making the run. Good pass out wide to Silvetti. Silvetti looking for Berterame. Too much on it. Oh, hey, listen, I will give this to Berterame. The dude's a hustler. He's run all over the place in the final third. He is definitely his work rate is very high. So he's busting his ass off. When he can pair that up with some goals, it'll be a huge difference. That whiff and tackle earlier was some Looney Tunes Roadrunners. Yeah. Juan says this team looks like a Champions Cup champion right now. And look, I'm excited. I love MLS, but I'm so excited for the Champions Cup to start back up this coming week. I love the Champions Cup. I just want to win that damn trophy so bad. It doesn't matter what MLS team it is. I just want an MLS team to win that trophy. It's been 4 years since we won it. I want to win it so damn bad and stop being clowned by Liga MX teams. I want to see how many turnovers DC United have tonight. They've had so many bad passes. Paul has had a half season to get used to MLS now, and he looks like a warrior again. He does. He looks like the box to box destroyer we've seen in years past. Like I don't want to say he's at the same level he was at Atletico Madrid, but he looks similar to that guy. He did have moments last year. He did, but this year just looks different. Like he looks like he's in command. Berterame is opposite of Suarez. La Tortuga versus okay, does that actually mean the rabbit? I don't want to say it just in case it's not. Does that actually mean the rabbit? He does look like a rabbit, though. I mean, he's making crazy runs. The effort's insane, which is good. 2 minutes of ad time, 45th minute. Oof. I don't know if DC United showed up, left DC. I don't know if DC United left DC and came to Baltimore. It doesn't feel like they did, but we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that at the uh, halftime recap. Got about a minute left in added time. 2-0. I don't know if Inter Miami will have another chance. They might just play keep away for the last minute of the first half. So is it Conijo? Conijo or Conillo? You tell me how to pronounce it. I'm my Spanish is terrible. I got La Tortuga, perfected, but I'm gonna have to have some practice on some other ones. We were calling Maxi Falcon El Caracol last year because of his, he's the snail. We got the snail and the turtle on the same team. Con Iho. So Con Iho. All right. So he's the rabbit. Is that what they actually do? I wonder if anyone ever called him that before because of his work rate. Oh, nice. Nice play by Messi out wide to Silvetti. They might be able to get one more chance for the half. Silvetti cuts wide, loses possession. Ooh, pulls the defender down. It's going to be DC United ball. Conejo. Oh, so Conejo. 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 Did Brandon Vasquez play for Austin yet? I think he's still recovering from his. I think he's still recovering from his ACL tear. But that's the first half, guys. Inter Miami is up 2-0 after 45 against DC United. I want to know what you guys think about that first half. What would you rate each team's first half performance, 1 through 10? Inter Miami and DC United. Let me know down below. I'm going to give you my first half performance grade real quick, and then I'm going to take a 45-second bathroom break. But in the first half, I'd say Inter Miami was playing probably about an 8 or a 9. I think they had a lot of key opportunities. I think that there was a lot of effort there throughout the entire team. I'd have to go back and look at it and to think about who really had a bad first half for them. Like everybody had at least a decent, at worst, first half, like at least a decent first half. But I think they completely dominated. So I'd give them an 8, maybe even a 9. And I'd probably give DC United like a 3. I haven't really seen much in the attack from DC United. I think there's a lot of left to be desired. The P. Ronnie whiff right there where Yannick Bright took the ball was just perfectly encapsulates how bad they've been in the first half. But if I had to rate my score right now, I would say it'd probably be an 8 Inter Miami and a 3 for DC United. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what your first half rating is for Inter Miami and DC United 1 through 10. I'll be right back. 45-second bathroom break. All right, we're back. All right, let's read some of these. Let's read some of these first half performance grades. Let's see. Mr. Mister says he's a 7 for Inter Miami, maybe even an 8, but he's a 2 for DC United. Tony says he's a 7 for Inter Miami and a 2 for DC. Let's see. Gary Guy says Inter Miami 8. Angus says 7 for Inter Miami, 3 for DC United. Mr. says I'm giving DC a 2 because that miss was embarrassing. It was terrible. One goal from not her for Messi. Yeah, so like I said, I give them. Oh, sorry, I missed Juan here. Juan says DC looked like they had Miami shook. Not sure how to handle Miami 8, DC 3. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's pretty close. So I think that's what I had to 8. I'd give Inter Miami an 8. I do think they could have done a couple things better, but I think they had a pretty solid first half. And let's look at some of the stats in the first half just to kind of see how both teams did. I want to say Inter Miami probably did dominate possession. I feel like they did. Okay, so Inter Miami in the first half had the possession 70% of the time. 70% of the time Inter Miami did. Inter Miami had almost 350 passes to DC United's 139. Inter Miami has a 90% completion percentage where DC United has an 81% completion percentage. Completion percentage in their passes. Inter Miami had 5 shots to DC United 6, even though it doesn't really feel like DC United had 6 shots. DC had 1 on target. Inter Miami had 3 on target. Here's the funny thing. This is actually kind of a funny stat. Inter Miami's expected goal rate was 0.36 to DC United's 0.19. So even though Inter Miami had 5 shots, 3 on target, they really didn't have a high expected goal rate. So that's an interesting stat. Very interesting stat. But it felt like they were winning the whole entire first half. Now on the screen it says 62% possession to 38 possession on Apple, but on FOTMob it says 70 to 30, and it says it's 0.36. I don't know how each one tallies up their stats, but they're a little different on both platforms, FOTMob and MLS. So I'm curious which one's more accurate. But either way, bad half from DC United. And I thought Inter Miami was pretty good, but I think they could have done a little bit more. But it was definitely good. I mean, I feel like 8's still pretty damn good, right? I mean, 10 is perfect. Inter Miami has now outscored their opponents 6-0 in the last 2 halves they played. 6-0 in the last 2 halves they played. And I think if they win today at this current score, let me just look this up real quick because I want to make sure that this is correct. So if Inter Miami were to win this game 2-0 or possibly more, that would put their goal difference at 1. Yeah, it'd be at +1. They'd have 6 points. So they'd probably be in 3rd place, possibly 4th place by the end of this game or by the end of this day or tomorrow. But they're starting to charge back up, right? They had the really bad first week game against LAFC, but they're starting to pick things up and they're looking a lot better. And the goal difference is what really hurt them. I mean, when you lose 3-0, it really does hurt. I mean, you have to play crazy catch up to get back in the positive. But it looks like they're on their way to doing that in this game. So let me ask you this. Who was your player of the first half? We talked about our scores. Who do you think was the best player on the pitch in the first half of this game? Who do you think was the best player in the first half of this game? Let me know what you guys think. Cringe, my friend. He says, hey, Will. He says, Miami is looking good minus Murrah. I don't think Murrah has been terrible, has he? I mean, maybe he's been the weakest player on the pitch, but I don't think they've really needed him too much. I haven't noticed him too much. He's had a couple errant passes, but I think overall they've looked pretty solid. Okay, let's read this real quick. I have a feeling we're going to be in agreement with this. SPH says Bertarame low key. Maybe his work rate's been good. Mr. says DePaul. Garriga says DePaul. Bright was good. Hacker says everyone was bright. Yeah, that's true. DePaul easily. Tomei says DePaul. Everyone was good. DePaul. Yes, Mura has been terrible. Okay, well he's I'm not saying he's been good. Like I said earlier in the first half, I think you've either been okay or very good for Inter Miami. But I mean, I guess you guys think he's been the worst one. He 2 bad giveaways. He's had some bad passes, but I don't think he's been I mean, I guess he hasn't really been challenged in the defense much to see if he's been bad defending, but yes, I guess he has been the worst player on the pitch. Don't forget, Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia on their first match and ended up winning the trophy. Miami will do the same next time LAFC is dead. We'll see. Everyone looks good. DePaul, Messi has been the best player in the first half. Miami trying to play like easily. We need Luis Suarez. No La Tortuga today. I don't need my Saturday being ruined with that. But if they do win or have a comfortable lead, I do expect him to probably come on and play in this game just because they're going to want to give some of these guys a break for the Champions League game on Tuesday or on Wednesday night, which I hope to see all you guys there for that too. We got two watch alongs got one on Tuesday and one on Wednesday. I hope to see you guys at both of those live watch alongs. They're going to be very, very big, very, very important games for the Champions Cup. LAFC versus Alajuelense and Inter Miami versus Nashville SC. Okay, let me ask you guys this. We got our player of the game. We got our ratings of the game. Let me ask you this. What is your score prediction for the second half? Inter Miami has the 2-0 lead, comfortable lead. What do you think is going to be the final score of this game? 2-0. What is your final score of this game going to be? I think it's probably going to be got a lot of okay. I'll give you my score prediction too, and then I'll read what you guys say. I think it's going to probably be 3-0. I do think Inter Miami will probably pull one back. Now, my original score was 3-1, but I think it's going to be 3-0, and I think there's going to be some changes, like I said, because they're going to try to preserve some of these guys for the game against Nashville. So I think they're going to win 3-0, and then we're going to see a couple changes. I think we'll see DePaul come out. I think we'll see Messi come out. I think we might see Bright come out. And Segovia, maybe not. I think the younger guys are probably going to stay in. I do think Messi and DePaul will probably come out in this game just to give them some rest for the game against Nashville SC on Wednesday. But I think the final score is going to be 3-0. Okay, we got a lot of score predictions. Let's see. 4-0, 4-0, 4-1, 5-0, 5-1. Let's see. Mr. Mister says depends on what time they're both playing. Oh, midweek. Let's see. Are you talking about the watch alongs? David says 1-3. Lee says 2-0, 3-1, 5-1, 3-0. Now Miami 4-1. Yeah, so 3-1, 5-0, 5-1, 3-1. Yeah, so everybody pretty much agrees it's over for DC United. It's very over for DC United, after that first half. But I'm curious to see if Inter Miami, how they're going to play in the second half. They're going to play more conservative. But they have dominated in the first half. Now, if they do score, some of you guys are saying 3, 4, 5. There's actually quite a bit of 4 and 5 score predictions. Who is Messi going to get a brace if that happens? Like if they score 4 goals, so 2 more goals, is Messi going to have a brace, or is it going to be someone else like Segovia or Bertarame? Is it more likely that Messi gets his brace, or is it more likely that Bertarame scores his first goal for Inter Miami? That's what I'm curious about. Now, on the other side of DC United, you feel bad for them. I mean, they kind of have a team that's bandaged together. There's still a lot of guys that they need to. A lot of pieces they need to add to this team, and they still need their DP. They really need Moutinho to play. Who's not playing in this game? He's on the bench. I wouldn't be surprised maybe see him come on in the second half. But this team just looks very lifeless. That's why I said they look soulless. I should have used the word lifeless. They just don't have any energy in this game. They're playing very, very defeated in this match. So it's a little discouraging if you're a DC United fan, but I mean, this is a good showing for Inter Miami because DC United beat Philadelphia 1-0 in their first game, and they lost to Austin FC 1-0. So defensively, they've been sound in 2026. This is the most goals they've conceded so far in this season. So if you're an Inter Miami fan and you scored 2 goals on this team that looked very good defensively, that has to make you feel pretty good. Let's see, brace Messi, Messi hat trick. You think DC is done for? I mean, yeah, probably in this game, yeah, for sure. Mister says they'll wait to bring him in, the big guys in if they get a third. Yeah. So SPH says, yep, it's an almost full house now. Don't know how much of them are DC fans, but they will be frustrated at their team. Miami King says Miami played not good, but DC is too weak. They are weak, but they also have had some good results this year. So I don't know if I wouldn't discredit this performance by Inter Miami just because I don't. I mean, DC United, they've only conceded one goal this year, now two. So is the Montinu guy in DC United? Yes, he is. He played. He's their record signing. They made this offseason. They spent, I want to say, like $8 million for him. He's supposed to be a difference maker for him, and we'll have to see what he ends up doing. But he hasn't played yet. He hasn't played yet today. So they're going to need him to step up, and they're going to need him to come on. I don't know if they've made any We'll have to see if they made any second half changes either team. They haven't announced it yet, but we'll see. Second half's about to start. We'll see if any of us are right or wrong. Miami King says Allende and Suarez will subbed in and Ayala. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. I think that Suarez will probably come in for Messi. I think that Ayala will come in for DePaul. And I think Allende will probably come in for maybe Silvetti, maybe Segovia. You think Berterame scores? Rebo isn't enough to carry all of DC. He needs help. I agree. All right, second half's officially underway. I don't think there was any second half substitutions for either team. So we're rocking out with the same starting 11s for both clubs. We'll see what the final score is. And we'll see if DC and I can play with a little bit more energy in the second half. See if Mora can play. Mora, a lot of you guys think he was the worst player in the first half for Inter Miami. We'll see if he can have a bounce back second half. And maybe I didn't notice him as much in the first half because there was just so much good play by other guys by Inter Miami. So many good first half performances. Maybe I just didn't notice how bad he was. I mean, right there, Maxi Falcone kind of did him dirty. I mean, what was he? I mean, he turned the ball over right there, but what was he supposed to do? It's 55 degrees too. It's like 80 degrees here in Tennessee today. It's actually really pretty today in Tennessee. Oh, dangerous pass. Dane St. Clair hasn't really been challenged today either, so I guess we'll have to. It looks like Luis Suarez is maybe putting his shin pads on or getting them ready. He's putting some type of bracelet in his sock. Maybe that's for good luck. I don't know. I don't know what his game routine is, but it looks like Luis Suarez is prepared to play. He's getting prepared to play. Also like to see Ayala if he's available. I think that he is probably going to. I think he is going to play in this game. Messi's got a lot of space in the midfield to DePaul, back to Messi, plays it out wide. Miami's able to keep possession. Juan says in Arizona, we hit a record for earliest time we ever hit 90 degrees. Yeah, man, I tell you what, it feels like it's March, but it feels like May already. I can't remember it being in the 80s in March in a long time. I'm not complaining about it though. It is nice weather. Yeah, we'll see when Sergio Reguilon makes his MLS debut because he's only played in one preseason game and got his knee banged up. Segovia out wide to Salvetti. I think Inter Miami's definitely going to score another one. They just got too much space. Segovia was looking for Bertarame, but tight window, wasn't able to fit it in. Salvetti. Oh, Messi was looking for Bertarame. It was deflected, though. He had Bertarame if he could have got it to him. Would have been able to open up his MLS account. Oof. Sean Johnson's 17th season. That's so crazy to think he's been playing that long. Ooh, good deflection by Bertarami, but it's a handball. I like I said, I like I like his effort, Bertarami. Conejo. I like his effort, El Conejo. Are we gonna have like an animal name for every single Inter Miami player? That'd be funny as hell. We got like three so far, or not animal, but just like we got El Caracol, La Tortuga, El Enejo. I mean, we're gonna have a nickname for every single player by the end of the season. Do you think Messi will get a hat trick? Maybe. I don't know. I think there's a chance he could get a brace. It just depends on if he plays, how much longer he plays. But I think Luis Suarez is going to end up coming in for him probably in the 60th or 65th minute. So we'll see. Is that better, Conejo? All right, we're at 87 likes, guys. 140 people in the chat. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 100 likes. We're 13 away. If you're watching this live right now, make sure you guys like it down below and also subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of content on the way, big stuff happening on the channel, and we're trying to hit the 15,000 subs by the start of the World Cup. We got a lot of work to do. We're getting closer and closer, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Got Inter Miami versus DC United 2-0 in the 51st minute. We'll see if Inter Miami can pull one back before they have their substitutions or what we expect to be substitutions in this game. Noah Allen looking for Bertarame. Looks like Bertarame got pushed down a little bit, but the no call. It's going to be DC United's ball. Looks like there's a foul called on maybe on Segovia. I didn't know Inter Miami signed Tottenham Hotspur's fullback Sergio Reguilon last December. Yeah, that was something that kind of was in the works for a couple months. I think maybe reported back in August and official in December. But yeah, they signed him back in December. Oh, clear chance, Pirani. Bad pass by Pirani. That was a bad pass by Pirani. He could have set Ty Brio up right there, but that was a bad pass. Bad back pass to it was behind Ty Brio. I don't think that I don't think Pirani is very good. That's another play he's made that's just not good enough. Who is better, Ronaldo or Messi? Come on, man. Messi, Goat, Bertarama, Conejo, uh, Suarez is La Tortuga. DePaul feels like like a Wolverine. Maybe Bright is a raccoon. How he randomly steals the ball. Maybe. DePaul is it Yada? That's Hindi for warrior. He is a warrior. Hopkins, bad pass. Messi plays it out to Segovia. Can he get to it if it goes out of bounds? He can. He keeps it in play. Ooh, poked away. It's gonna be a throw in for Inter Miami. Noah Allen's actually looked pretty decent today. Like he hasn't done much in the attack, but he's not been too bad. I'm pleasantly surprised by Noah Allen today so far. They really haven't relied on him too much, but he hasn't been bad. They're pressing though. Inter Miami, I don't think are very good when you press them. They keep possession, but that could have been dangerous. By the way, I saw a report. I don't know if it's true, but I saw a report that someone said that Oscar Perea might be fired tonight or tomorrow. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know how reliable this guy is, but I don't know how accurate this is. But if it's true, that would be crazy. If that's true, Orlando City need to hire Wilfred Nazi ASAP. Mikael. Mikael's been very good too for Inter Miami. DePaul. Oh, he had Mora going trailing right. A lot of space. They didn't see him though. Good pass from Bertarame to DePaul. Segovia. I was told there's no pressure at MLS. We'll see. We'll see if it's official. But if they do, they should. I mean, he's been there for. To be fair, he's been there for 6. I would have fired him after last year with how bad he was. But let's see if they actually do it. I mean, this is 3 games too late. But we'll see. It's like Tottenham. Igor Tudor has had 3 games. Fans already calling for his head. Yeah, I have a friend who's a Tottenham fan, and he told me that the fans are becoming super toxic at Tottenham, and they don't think the coaching is the problem, but it's the injuries. But he said that the fan base is becoming very, very toxic. I thought Mikael would be Defensive Player of the Year when they signed him. I mean, he could be. Mikael has been very, very good for Inter Miami so far. Tottenham about to get relegated. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy. Ooh, miss hit. It's me to throw in for Inter Miami. You like my headphones and you like my jacket. I appreciate it. The relegation battle in the Premier League is something else. I haven't. I looked at it yesterday. I can't remember who the other teams were in the relegation zone. Let's see. West Ham, Burnley, and Wolverhampton. So West Ham and Nottingham Forest are tied with 28 points. And then Tottenham has 29 points. Leeds has 31. Yeah, I mean, Tottenham's right there. They could be, I don't think they're going to be relegated, but they could. They haven't won a game since Premier League game since December 28th. Oh, Hopkins. Oof, deflected out of bounds. It's going to be a corner for DC United. Switch Tottenham with Wrexham. I'll be happy. Montreal should be relegated just cause. I gotta get to making that project. I'm gonna try to have that out by Thursday, but there's no promises. I don't know if I'm gonna have it out by Thursday. We'll see though. I might have it out by Sunday, maybe. I'm not sure. I definitely need to get that Montreal project out ASAP. Oh, good cross, good corner by DC United. They had a chance. A win is 3 points, a draw is 1 point, and a loss is 0 points. Yep. The problem with Tottenham is years of mismanagement is catching up with them. They used to have Son and Kane to paper over the cracks. That's true. And the sad thing is they have like that world class stadium. It might be the best stadium in the Premier League. Honestly, it might be. And it just such a pitiful product to play in that stadium. Moutinho is coming in. Moutinho's coming in for I can't remember who he's coming in for, but he's coming in the game finally. Their DP striker. Looks like he's coming in for. Try to see who else is coming out. I don't think Pirani's coming out. Moutinho's coming in though. Luis Moutinho. Oh, he's coming. So he is coming out for Pirani. So Moutinho's coming in for Pirani. Let's see if the Romanian can make any difference in this game. Who is your favorite to win the 2026 World Cup? Probably Spain, honestly. I think Spain has a good chance, but I wouldn't be surprised if Portugal wins it. I got this feeling about Portugal that they're just going to go on this crazy run and win it this year. But I think Spain's going to win it all. Moutinho, first touch. He's playing kind of deep, honestly. We'll see if they can look better in the second half and their attack. I mean, it's hard to look worse, but Moutinho costs $8-9 million. They're expecting him to score some goals this year. Him and Ty Baribo. It's about to be the best stadium in the championship. That's funny. That'd be really sad, honestly. I think Tottenham's been in the first division for what 100 years. That would be crazy, though. Time for subs. This will show how much Mascherano has grown as a coach. What changes will he make and when? We'll see. As an Argentinian, I want anyone but Spain or Portugal. That would probably be my two favorites. That was a nice play by the ref there. Diego Jota will be a big loss for Portugal. That's true. Who you think will win the World Cup? I think it'll be Spain or Portugal. 63 minutes in, 2-0 still. I expect to see some substitutions here soon. Oh. Oh. Martino almost had a nice bicycle kick, but it was just wide left. Wow. Coutinho automatically looks better. Like he looks way better than what they've had so far. Oh my god, he was so close. It was like perfectly over Maxi Falcone's hair, and just started curling left too much, and wasn't able to fit it in. But already they look better with Moutinho in the game. Already look better. Pedri, Pedri all day. He should have started for sure. I mean, I don't know why he didn't. I think maybe he was hurt last game, or someone said I don't remember what the situation was with Moutinho, but um, he should have started for sure. Like they look completely different already. Pirani's ass. He was terrible. If Moutinho had that opportunity that Pirani had that was taken away by Yannick Bright, they probably would have scored. If you aren't beating Miami in transition, you really have no chance. That's true. Ooh, Mikael was looking for Rodrigo de Paul too much on it though, taken away by DC United. I think DC United might be able to pull one back. I think they might be able to. A little back heel by DePaul looking for Bertarame, but it was taken away by DC. A lot of standing around too, guys. That's one thing that drives me crazy is when someone has the ball and you just stand there. You gotta. It's more about what you do off the ball than what you do on the ball. Saved easily by Dane St. Clair. 66 minutes in, still 2-0. Inter Miami over DC United. It honestly feels like Miami's not even trying to score again. That they're just kind of holding on to the lead. I mean, they could score again, but it doesn't feel like they're not really putting their foot on the gas in the second half. Honestly, they've got no fight in them. West Ham and Forest will scrap. Tottenham look like they've given up. That Tottenham Forest game. Oh, Mikael cleared out of bounds. Going to be a corner for DC United. That Tottenham versus Forest game in 2 weeks will tell us everything we need to know. That's true. Portugal versus Colombia is going to be a great game as well as will be Spain versus Uruguay in the opening group matches. Yes, I can't wait for the World Cup. I'm very excited about the World Cup to see these teams play. All right, Hopkins is taking the corner for DC. Plays it high. Oof. Miss hit, but it's going to be a foul on DC United. It's going to be a free kick for Inter Miami. Bertarami is brought down pretty hard. Right, plays that wide to Falcone. Would be funny if Tottenham somehow makes a deep run in the Champions League. That is funny. What if they were somehow able to like win the Champions League but get relegated at the same time? Wouldn't that be crazy? That'd be the best and worst season of all time. Oh, nice pass to Segovia. Back to Messi. Good play. I feel like they need to try to get Bertarame on the score sheet just to get his confidence up. I mean, 3 games with no goals would be pretty tough. DC United playing a lot better, more energy. Looking for Hopkins. DC is able to keep possession. Crosses it. Oof. DC's calling for a touch on that. They're saying Sean or Dane St. Clair got a hand on that. Let me see. To mean to. Let's see. I don't think he touched it. I don't know if he touched that. I don't know if that header by Mutinu. I don't know if Dane St. Clair touched that. Possession has been much closer in the second half, 55-45, if that's accurate, because I don't know if they're accurate. MLS. Let's see, 58-48 on FOTMob. I know I've said this before, but how slow is Falcon? I mean, we gave him the nickname El Caracol for a reason. I mean, he's the snail. He's the snail for sure. Oh, bad pass by Bertarame. Able to keep it. DePaul. Yep, able to keep it. No, Allen saves it. It goes out of bounds. Going to be a throw in for DC United. He's super slow. Travis says M in Jamaica, Portland, Caribbean countries, and planet. I, California, Prince country, and planet. I'm honestly not sure what that means. Allen has looked so much better than last game. Left back and right back for Miami really can make or break their year for sure. Miami just in cruise control at this point. Yeah, they're playing ultra conservative. Allende's coming in now, so that's the first sub. Very surprised by that. So Allende's coming in for Silvetti. I'm very surprised that that's the first sub they're making. They're taking out the youngest guy on the pitch. That I'm surprised by. I figured they would be taking out. I figured they would be taking out Messi or Bertarame or DePaul because they're trying to preserve their energy. I mean, they're at least Messi and DePaul are the two oldest starters. They're both 31 plus. Messi's obviously 38 years old. I thought they would take them off to preserve their energy for the Nashville SC game on Wednesday, but 71 minutes in, and Mascherano has yet to take them out. So very questionable, but we'll see. We'll see if this bites him in the ass. Segovia, Allende. Got no Allen wide open left. No Allen. Segovia, bad giveaway by Segovia. Oof. I'm telling you guys, this DC team has no creativity. They need someone. They need a playmaker bad who can kind of string everything together. Two good strikers, but they need someone who can set them up. Huge issue in MLS. Hopkins is throwing it in. Was playoff Allende a one-time thing? Maybe. I don't. He's getting back into form because he didn't play the entire preseason with the team because they were trying to work out the deal with Celta Vigo. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's a one-time thing, but they're gonna have to see more. They spent $5 million on him. They're gonna have to start seeing some more productivity out of him in the next couple of games. But I think they'll give him a couple before they hit the panic button. Mascherano wants to take Messi out to rest him, but Messi won't allow it. Well, that's true, but there's other guys he could be taking out. Oh, they got a lot. Oh, a lot of open space. Here we go, Bertarame. He's got someone. Oh, deflected. Miami had a golden opportunity there in transition to score or on the counter. Oh, they had a golden opportunity. Miami's going to have a throw in 74 minutes in. Dybala to DC. What are the odds? I think they still have a DP spot open. I think they have U3. Bad giveaway. I think they have some U22 spots open too, maybe 3. Oh, good pass to Hopkins. Oh, good save. And Ty Baribo was able to score off the rebound to pull one back for DC United in the 74th minute. 2-1, Inter Miami. Bad defending by Inter Miami. Good play by Ty Baribo. Wow. So Ty Baribo is able to put DC on the score sheet. They're able to pull one back to cut the deficit to 1 with 15 minutes left plus added time. Hopkins tried to shoot it. I mean, that wasn't a bad shot attempt. Good save by Dane St. Clair, but he's just not able to. And that was bad marking by Mora. That right there was maybe Facundo Mora's worst play of the night. I mean, look at the marking on this by Facundo Mora. Look at that. That's absolutely terrible. He gave like 5 or 6 feet on Ty Brebo. He's not watching him at all. He had no clue that he was there for the rebound on the miss. That was bad defending by Facundo Mora. That was probably the worst play he's had all night. I've learned in soccer specifically, or I guess more specifically MLS, that if you're up, you can never play too conservative. You need to play the whole game the way you've been playing. You can't park the bus. You can't play keep away. You have to play the way you've been playing all game, or you give the other team a chance of coming back. I'm not saying that Inter Miami is going to lose because I think they're still going to win, but they really shouldn't be in this spot with how the game had played in the first half. They should have kept their foot on the gas this entire game. And now they're just one goal away from, going from 3 points to 1 point. So there's going to be 14 minutes left plus added time. Played lackadaisical and got scored on. Classic sports situation of underestimating opponents. DC's trying this game or tying this game wouldn't surprise me. Miami scoring 2 more also wouldn't surprise me. Well, like I said, and Moutinho, that was definitely a foul on Max. He fouled Maxi Falcone just then. But they just need to keep their. If you're winning, do what got you to that point. Do what got you to that point. You should only make adjustments if you're losing and what you're doing is not working. You should make adjustments if you're winning and it is working. That doesn't make any sense. That's a Javier Mascherano special, though. Is Hopkins one of DC's better players? I think he's young. I mean, I wouldn't say he's, I guess technically he's one of their best players, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. He's only 21 years old. So, I mean, I think he's all right. He's made a couple plays tonight that's kind of shows his, immaturity. Messi, good pass. Oh, nice pass to Yende. Facundo Mora. Oh, found the box. That's a penalty. Dude, that is 100% a penalty. Did you see the push down that? They're going to look at that. That looked like a penalty to me. He got shoved in the back. I want to see a replay on this. That looked like a penalty to me. Let's see. I mean, well, I don't know. Actually, maybe Facundo. Actually, Facundo Mora looked like he ran into him, so maybe that's not a penalty. That's tough. I don't know. Maybe it's not a penalty. At first glance, in live action, it looked like it was a penalty, but maybe it wasn't. I don't think he flopped. I think he ran into him. I think Mora ran into the defender. Oh, Hopkins trying the turn. DePaul with a horrible pass, looking out wide for Allende. Horrible pass by DePaul. He looks like he's mad, but it's like, dude, that was a bad pass. Who the hell was there? Good defending by Moore right there. Messi out wide, Tamura. $80 in, 2-1. Inter Miami still has the lead on DC United, but DC United's look better the last 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. Doing the keep away again. Dangerous play. Dangerous style to be playing right now. Oh, Maxi. DC's ball. I think DC might pull one back. Uh-oh. Oh, it kept it in. Good play by Mikael. Oh, that could have been a goal. Good work rate by Bertarame. Nine minutes left. Segovia fouled by Hopkins. So Clark's coming on for Hopkins, excuse me. Hopkins, I thought was okay, hit or miss. I thought he was better than he was bad in the first, 81 minutes he played, but surprised to see them take him out. I guess Allende, like Lee saying maybe. DC second goal is loading. Bertarame needs to come out. Probably does, but Mascherano's made one substitution. They got a big game on Wednesday. He's made one substitution. DePaul, some space. Looking for Bertarame, too much on that pass, but it looks like Bertarame is going to be able to save it. Bertarame is able to keep it in play. Then he's fouled by Clark. think it's going to be a corner. But Mike, what a work rate by Bertarame to keep that in play. Very impressed by Bertarame's work rate and his effort. Looks like DePaul's going to take this corner. 83 minutes in. We got 7 minutes plus added time. Maxi Falcone's always getting into it with a striker on these corners, even when his team's taking the corner. This will be like 5 minutes of added time, probably. Scovia, DePaul. DePaul crosses it. Oof, Bertarame got a head on it, but it saved by Sean Johnson. Johnson boots it deep. Looking for Montinu, but he's fouled. It's going to be DC's ball. Looks like we're 6 likes away from 100, guys. Can we get to 100 likes before the end of this stream? 110 people watching live with us still. Can we get to 100 likes before the end of this stream? I think we gained like 20 subs too. Like I said, we're around 700 away from 13,000. We're trying to hit 15K by June, I'd say, probably, right before the World Cup. And I think we're going to hit it. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We got the Champions Cup back. We got a lot of transfers. We got USMT stuff. There's so much content on the way, guys. You're not going to miss any of that. So after you're done liking this video, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little bell notification as well. Segovia going to be able to get to it. He's not able to get to it, but there's no DC player around. Mikael just has to clear it out. Caden Clark got it. Oof, out of bounds. Going to be a goal kick for Inter Miami. $86 minutes. $86 plus added time. I still can't believe Silvetti was the youngest guy on the pitch, was the first person subbed out. That still blows my mind. Dane St. Clair receives yellow. Thank for stalling time. Boots it deep. Allende's able to keep it in play. DePaul was able to save it, but DC's got possession back. Let's see if DC, what they do. They're going to have they probably got about 8 minutes left, I'd say. They're probably going to have about 4 minutes of add time, 4 minutes left of regulation. Oh, Caden Clark. Oh, goal opportunity. Was looking for Moutinu, but it was cleared by Falcone out of bounds. Going to be a corner for DC United. Caden Clark's going to take the corner for DC United. Okay, Lujan's coming in for Segovia. That's a random sub. That's not the sub I would be making, but okay. Segovia coming out. The second youngest guy on the pitch is coming out. So the two youngest guys that were on the actually, I think No Allen. Maybe No Allen is maybe No Allen's more younger than Segovia. Maybe he is. I don't know. It's close if he's not. Either way, two of the youngest guys are now off the pitch. All the vets are still on the pitch. Just doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever. Javier Mascherano does what Javier Mascherano wants to do. All right, Caden Clark's finally taking this corner, 88 minutes in. Like I said, I think there's probably going to be about 4 minutes of ad time. So I'd say we got about 6 minutes left of this game. Caden Clark with the corner. Noah Allen cleared it. DC still got possession, though. Oh, Facundo Mora falls down. Able to recover. Oh, good block by Facundo Mora. Hey, Facundo Mora's had a decent second half. Besides that, okay, actually that was bad marking by him against Ty Brebo. Besides that, though, he's had I think he's had a better second half. Maybe they're testing him more, so he's been able to. Oh, right into Dane St. Clair's hands. DePaul played it too low, out of bounds. Going to be a throw in for Inter Miami. I think that was Moutinho that blocked it. So DC's going to have another sub. 89 minutes plus added time. We'll talk more about it in the post game, but I'm shocked that we only saw 2 substitutions by Inter Miami. It's the 2 substitutions I would at least expect. Oof. Bertarame just fouled. To your point and an NFL comparison, Miami playing prevent defense instead of just going for third goal. Yes, and like I said, my perspective is if you're winning, you keep doing what you're doing. You only change what you're doing if you're losing. So 5 minutes added. Wow, 5 minutes. So one more than I thought. So we got 5 minutes of add time. This should have been 3-0 with all the vets sitting at the 70th minute mark. Yeah, they could have. If they went for it, they probably could have scored in the 70th minute or before the 70th minute, and they could have subbed out a bunch of the vets. But now they're playing. Oh my God. Oh. Nice cut. Moutinho. They're giving up way too many opportunities. So Morales coming in for DC United. I think Falcone was arguing saying it was a foul. I don't know if the call was out of bounds or if it was a foul. I guess we'll see here in a second. That's true. Inter Miami are playing not to lose instead of to win. I don't like that conservative style play. I mean, you gotta do what you got you here. But Yende wins that. Messi. Oh, he's got Yende. He sees him. Oh, good pass to Bertarame. Can he get there? Oh, Bertarame. Golden chance. Wasn't able to score. A little too much on it from Messi, though. A little too much. Bertarame. Good pass to Paul. Paul just had an absolute whiff. Oh, my God. That was like Wondolowski-esque. Oh, my God. That whiff was terrible. Did you see that? He just sent that shit 40 feet in the air, and he was only 2 feet away from goal. That should have been the easiest tap-in ever. DePaul just took his probably 8th grade I would have given him for this game and just sank that to like a 6.5 with that miss. That was horrible. I have no idea how DePaul just missed that opportunity. 2 feet away, he sent it 40 feet in the air. That was frustrating. That could have been the dagger for Inter Miami. But DC still holds on. 3 minutes left of added time. Oof. That's why he's a defensive midfielder. Listen, we'll give him a little grace period because he's a defensive midfielder. But my God, even a defensive midfielder should have been able to put that away. That was, I mean, that goal he scored earlier was harder than that. That's a tough break for Inter Miami. So about 1:30 left of added time. Dane St. Clair boots it deep out of goal. Bertarame heads it but loses possession. Caden Clark. Maybe it's DC United's last chance. This might be their last chance to score. It's 94th minute. There's 1 minute left of added time. It's a bad pass. That was Wondolowski-esque for sure. That miss was Wondolowski-esque. They didn't even show it again. All right, maybe this is their last chance. 30 seconds left of added time. This will probably be DC United's last chance to tie it up. Caden Clark. Back to Caden Clark. Out wide. Oh! No, Allen tries to clear it. Oh. They're going to call foul DC United. So we're past added time. We'll see when they blow the whistle. Yannick Bright's down right now. Mutanu is holding his foot. Maxi Falcone's trying to pick him up. DC's had some golden opportunities. They've had chances to come back in this game, so they can't blame anyone else but themselves. And Inter Miami can't blame anyone but themselves of giving them the opportunity to possibly come back in this game. This game is not worthy of MLS champions. The fans are going to be livid. We'll talk about that. This game has turned into a Liga MX game. After he boots us, it should be the end of it. Yep, that's the final whistle. Inter Miami has beaten DC United 2-1 after a pretty lackluster first or second half by Inter Miami. Messi has just ran to the locker room, so he's out of here. DC United looked disappointed, but this, hope you guys enjoy this watch along. We'll be back on Tuesday night for LAFC and Alajuelense in the Champions Cup for a watch along. Before you guys head out, make sure you like this down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss our video. 20 to 30 minutes, our post-game recap will be out. But until then, I will see you all soon.